Hi everyone, it's Emily back for video number 2. In this video, I really want to start getting into some of the things that I've done that will help you, I believe, if you implement them in your debt fighting, your war against your debt like I have done. I think you can use them as guidelines to, kind of make your own way and figure out how you want to do it, and really just use it as a kind of template to get to what works best for you. But you can see how I did it and what really worked for me. So, organization. This is all about organization. I feel it's very important to stay organized. It's very important to know, what you owe on each loan. I also like to calculate what's called the interest per diem, D-I-E-M, diem. That's just, I believe it's a Latin phrase for interest per day. It's kind of a fancy way of saying it. A lot of lenders, banks will say interest per diem, so I just want you to be familiar with the terminology, so that when someone starts talking to you about it, oh yeah, you know what they're saying. I also calculate my monthly interest and my interest per year, so I know what I'm being charged in interest every single day on each one of my loans, and then I also will add up all of those amounts and combine them for my total for all my loans combined. And I'll do that for the interest per diem, interest per month, interest per year, and then the amounts due on all of them too. So I know my total amount due. It's just a good way to keep organized, to know what you're paying out every single day, what these loans are costing you. A lot of loans, especially student loans, are compounded interest. So what that means is every single day you're being charged interest. So say, you have a $1,000 loan at 7% interest rate, that 7% you're being charged day one will become part of the principal on day 2. Then you'll be charged interest again on the interest that you paid the day before, or the interest you were charged the day before. So every day that interest just keeps being added to the total amount you owe, and you're being charged interest upon your interest. So that's kind of the gist of compound interest. It can work very, very quickly against you. So it's a good thing to be mindful of it and to just know what you're up against. So I'm going to show you my spreadsheet here in a second, just so you can see how I lay it out. Hopefully, you can see it all okay. So this is what my spreadsheet looks like. Maybe other way. There we go. Okay. So as you can see, the different columns, everything, I show the interest rate, whether it's fixed or variable, and I'll tell you in a moment how to calculate your interest and figure out how much you're paying in interest per day. So that's what it looks like. That's how I organize it. I do also have different tabs on my spreadsheet to show like which days I made payments and on which loans, because it's very important to keep track of that as well. You want to, be able to say, oh, well, I paid this one extra on this one this month, and continue to make payments on that same one, and just to see, how much extra you're really paying each month. It just helps to keep everything organized, to be able to say, oh, well, I had this much extra money, I put it towards this loan, and this one is now less because of it. It's just good to keep organized and to know where you're putting your money, basically. So interest, to calculate your interest, you multiply your balance. So let's say the $500 loan is at 7% interest, and that's fixed, so it's going to stay 7% for the duration of the loan. So you multiply the 7% by 500. So it would be 500 times 0.07, and that will equal $35. That's your yearly interest amount. So in order to determine your monthly interest amount, you can divide that number, the 35 number, by 12. So it's 12 months in a year, and that works out to be $2.92. Now, if it comes out to be like a number with a lot of decimal points afterwards, I always round it up to the nearest cent. I don't ever round it down. Even if it's like 2 zeros, I always round it up to 0.01, just because I'd rather, calculate over with what I'm being charged with interest than to be under and not fully aware of how much it's costing me. So if it's like a quarter of a cent over, I'd much prefer that, because it just motivates me to pay it off sooner anyway. So in order to calculate the interest per diem, or like I said, the interest per day, you would multiply, again, the $500 by the 0.07 for your interest rate, get the number 35 for the year interest rate, and then divide that number again by 365 to represent the 365 days of a year. So once you do that math, and like I said, I do round it up, so what I came up with is 10 cents a day for interest per diem. So to understand the compound interest, that $500, so from day one it's $500, day two it's $500.10, and then I'm being charged $500.10 times 0.07% to get the next day's interest amount. So it's going up on a daily basis. So you have to be mindful of that to best combat it and to, keep yourself focused. So that's how I calculate it. That's how I organize my spreadsheet for calculating the total amounts I owe. Like I said, I do have multiple tabs. I have one that will show, my budget, because budgeting is very important. I just keep it all on one thing. But also, like income, I'll put that on a separate tab just so it's all kind of organized and easy to access. So if you have access to Excel or other spreadsheet operational systems on your computer, great, use them. Utilize them to their full advantage so that you can really stay on top of your debt and how you're organizing, how you're keeping track of everything. What I would do, I still actually do, I print them out. So the one where I calculate the interest per diem, the interest per year, interest per month, I'll print it out, and I actually taped it onto my wallet. So every time I would go grocery shopping or shopping for, miscellaneous things that I would need, I would see that. I would see it right in my face every time I open my wallet and be like, oh yeah, there's that debt. If I don't really need an item, it would definitely make me reconsider purchasing it, because it's like I'm constantly being reminded of this debt that I am working very hard to pay off. And I would definitely suggest that too, keeping it in front of your face, having it, somewhere you'll see it all the time, so it's constantly reminding you that, hey, I need to pay this off. I need to stop paying this lender, $3 a day in interest, and it's adding up to what is it, $17,000 or something a year. I don't do math in my head. I need to write it down, so my numbers are probably wrong there. But I mean, you get the point. So keep it in front of you, keep it handy so you constantly see it. I think I've taped it to my dashboard in my car before, so when I'm stopped at a stop sign or something, I see it and I'm thinking about it. Or in my wallet, like I said, and on my computer, so I see it all the time. I've made it my desktop background. That helped. Just have it in front of you, reminding you this is my goal, to get rid of this. So this is not there waiting for me every day, costing me money, when I get absolutely nothing from it. You're not getting anything from paying this interest anymore. You might have gotten something from the education if they're student loans and, you're done with school. But that interest is just, you're paying for nothing right now. So get rid of it as fast as you can. So that's how I organize everything. Let me know if you have any questions. I would love to be able to address them for you, to help you, give you ideas, hear your ideas. I'm completely open to everything that you have. I know everybody has something to share. Everyone has something we can learn from. So I would love to hear more, positive. Don't be negative. I know, I get it. Everybody's stressed. Everybody has debt. Not everybody, but, probably everybody watching this has debt or knows what it's like to have debt. So we get it. We definitely get it. Let's just be positive and realize that, we can do this. It's definitely doable. I'm on the way to having it done. I started with $70,000 worth of debt, and 6 years later, it's been a long 6 years, but I've paid off $55,000, and I am now saving for a house so I can buy a house. And once I do that, I am going to pay off the rest of it. I have, I think, $15,500 left in my total debt. And it's just been a long, grueling battle, but it's been worth it every step of the way. And the closer and closer you get to being debt-free, the more and more relief you feel. You don't feel so hopeless. I mean, when I graduated, I was making $1,000 a month just towards minimum payments on my loans, and that was a struggle. It was a complete and just awful struggle. So I get it. You know, we're all in similar situations. They might be different. It might be different types of debt, but you can apply this to all of them and really, you know, make some progress. So good luck. Keep following. I hope to see you soon. Bye.